how to draw zombie heads in pencil. So I'm going to draw a couple of variations here, maybe three, actually it's three, and then draw a larger version based on these sketches that I'm drawing. So I'm just drawing just a zombie type head here in pencil. It's best to draw some variations and then you can maybe do a final design later on, and that's always what I like to do when drawing. Keeps you drawing and sketching ideas out without having to create final artwork. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, this I use like I think that's a 2B, or it's a sort of a darker pencil I use. Obviously I'm like adding like the dark shades and stuff, and I'm not going to ink these, so I'm just going to leave them in pencil just to show you. So yeah, like I said, it's a real good idea to learn to sketch ideas out roughly, because you can change things later on, and that's what I always do, especially with these drawings. There are always ways to like improve your zombie heads, and add loads of details, like missing ears and like rotten cheeks, like I've done there, like all the flesh is just hanging off, and just like wispy looking hair, like I'm just penciling in there. Yeah, so these these zombie heads, they can be any way you want. They could be like missing noses, or they're becoming more skull like this one. It is best to just try and draw different ways and come up with ideas beforehand with these quick sketches. So yeah, just, draw like surface like wounds and or like scratches and rotten skin, or just loads of stuff hanging off like rotten. That's the fun part with these sketches. You can always just make it up, and it doesn't have to be like drawn a set way or anything like that. That's why I do these videos. I don't really show exactly how to draw stuff. I just draw stuff, and you can either follow along or just get some inspiration from it. Even though the title of it says how to draw zombie heads or whatever, but unless I'm drawing like specific shapes or ways of drawing stuff like that, it's difficult to show really. I mean, other artists can do that, maybe look to them, but I'm just like more about the inspiration and how to get on with creating ideas. It's all about the sketching really. If you can't sketch rough ideas out, then I don't think you can create finished drawings, but it's always good to try. There's certain things that I'm not good at drawing, but I'll improve in time. But yeah, zombie heads have improved slightly from the way I used to draw. So yeah, just practice drawing. That is the best way to improve. Particularly if you look, say like my old videos, I say this quite a lot. Always look back on your old drawings and just see how much you've improved. And I can say I have improved in the things that I draw and the way that I draw them. So, and that's through sketching every day. I draw something every day at least. I find it important to do that. And these zombie heads, I like the idea of having like real darker eyes, so like them eyes sort of sink back into the skull, almost skull like. Well, this one is anyway. It's a good way of drawing them. And once I've got the initial shape which I have there, I just go back and add some dark shadow areas in the right places. and some mid-tone shading on the side of the head there. So you'll see later that I draw a couple more variations, different types of zombie heads, because you can draw them many different ways. There's no set way of drawing them. You know, whatever you can think of, you can, you know, try and draw. There's no such thing as a rubbish idea. You know, there's maybe like a couple of like rubbish drawings which I've done in the past which I'm not happy with, so you can just start again. It's no like it's no bother really, you know, just drawing. You're gonna have some dud drawings here and there which don't work for whatever reason, and that's why sketching is important. Sketching these ideas out to see if they work, and then you can create a larger drawing, which I do later on. So yeah, I'm drawing another zombie head, drawing it facing a different way. It's best to do these if you're gonna draw a load of zombies. It's best to draw a few different types, especially with the heads and things like that. What I'm going to do later to add on to this video is probably going to do some full zombie bodies, and you know, with the heads and stuff, just to try and add more, you know, depth to this drawing video and show you ways of drawing things like, you know, like arms missing and limbs and stuff like that, and guts hanging out, and I don't know, some cool stuff just to draw really. Is, you know, I always like look at other artists, the way they draw stuff, and it inspires me to draw stuff, so I'm hoping that this does the same. Maybe not with my voiceover over the top, but maybe the actual drawing that you see. So I'm just using like you know, like a real sketchy type way of sort of finding the zombie heads, with an underlying structure of the skull. That's the best way to draw them, and then you can add more stuff on them, or you can give them noses or something. But I usually like to just do, you know, like where all the nose is rotted off and half the face is rotting, and like I said, you can draw them any way you want. It's all up to you, and that's why I'm drawing them the way I want, but you can draw them the way you want. This zombie's there, got his tongue sticking out for some reason. I must have thought it was a good idea at the time, but it probably was. Probably is, yeah. He looks like he's about to, you know, bite someone or something. I'm quite happy with this type of paper. It's really cheap card, but like one side of it's real smooth, but the other side which I'm drawing on has got some kind of texture to it. It's quite good. It's like cartridge paper or something, but it's got a nice texture for sketching on. That's what I've noticed about looking back on it. I can see the texture in the paper, and it just reminds me of that. It's good to sketch on. But like I said, that's just cheap paper from a local pound shop. I'm always buying that cheap paper just to sketch and work out ideas on. Sometimes do some final ink drawings, but it's usually black and white, because I find colour sometimes fades on this paper. But that's what it reminds me. I've got Bristol paper, Bristol board, illustration board, or whatever it's called. I need to start drawing final drawings on there. As you can see, fleshing out zombie heads, you can come up with some really good designs, just with pencil. It doesn't make you like commit to adding inks on, you know, stuff like that. You can just work them out in pencil first and see if they work, and see if, you know, they're up to sort of a standard that you want to work with and develop into a larger drawing. So I see like pencil drawings or ink drawings as sculptures anyway. You're trying to find something within the pencil marks, and yeah, that's all you can do with drawing. But yeah, I will try and do other videos which add to this, because I understand that drawing heads is can be quite basic, and people want to learn to draw like the full bodies and like composition and maybe other elements like background elements or something, that there could be like near gravestones, these zombies, or like a cemetery, or I don't know. I think there's more I could do with this and add to it, make these videos more useful. So if anyone's got any ideas, just leave them in the comments, and I'll try and do videos based on what people say. And I will do it this time, because I've said in the past about requests and stuff, and I never got around. I've still got the list, but I will get around to doing things like that, because I wanna make this channel a little bit more better, more videos, and just try and help people out and show how I draw, which could inspire other people to draw. So I've got 2 zombie heads there. I'm going to do a third one. It's always good in threes, the 3 zombie heads. I think I draw the eyes uneven there on purpose, I think. Pretty sure I did. Or did I change it? I can't remember. I sketched this a while ago before I've done the voiceover. Yeah, slightly uneven there. That's a conscious decision to make the zombie head a bit like broken, bit, I don't know. Yeah. So I think the final drawing, which will be larger, which is after this, I think it goes more with this third skull, zombie skull head thing. It's similar like layout, so and again I just drew everything in pencil, didn't add any ink to it or anything. If you want me to add ink to these drawings, then I will do. I'll do maybe an inking tutorial, or maybe add some different textures to it through ink or something. If you'd like to see that, just let me know, and I will create that video. So I've still got the original drawing of this on my desk, on my other desk, on my third desk. Got 3 desks all filled with stuff. No, actually 4 desks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't count. Yeah. Yeah. So like, if you want me, to see me inking that, then I will do. And definitely do more zombie drawing videos, and trying to work out different techniques for inking, which could be quite useful actually. I've got a video in the works about advanced inking techniques, which has taken me a lot to like assemble all the bits and pieces to it and try and organize it in a way that looks interesting. So yeah, but thinking about it, I could have done it with this video, but inking these, but no, the video that I did with it, it's nearly done and dusted now, so then that should be quite useful, that video. So yeah, just darken around the eyes there, make them stand out a bit more. That's what I always do. Go back over certain areas, a bit of dark shadow, scribbles, scribbles. something in the works, like a large zombie piece where it's like a head of a zombie, and it's got all these like these flesh-eating tentacles coming out of its head. I'll have to show you the progress of that in maybe like an art update or something. It's quite a recent one. Got it somewhere, which I'll show you that. I'm quite pleased with that drawing actually. It's going to be like a death metal type album cover or something. I'm going to sort of finish it and ink it, finish inking it, and yeah, well, we'll show you it. Be on my Instagram probably first, and then just yeah, I'll decide which band is going to get that drawing. Well, if they're interested in it, that is. Yeah, so that's just a recap on them zombie heads that I've drawn. Quite like them. So starting off here, you can't really see what I'm drawing, but I'm drawing a larger zombie head. I'll zoom in a little bit soon, and you can see the shape that I'm trying to draw. So it definitely is more of that third zombie drawing. I'm trying to add a bit more detail and just flesh out more. So I'm using a real tiny 2B pencil there. Actually, it's a 6B. Yeah, just realised. I've had that pencil for ages. Just can't part with it at the moment. But after a while, it might need to go in a pencil holder, because I can hold it now, but it's getting too tiny. So I zoomed in there a little bit so you can see a bit more. It's looking sort of like that third zombie sketch that I did. So I'm using that as the guideline. And them zombie pictures are to the side of the camera, so I'm looking at them to, for reference. And it's actually quite good drawing your own drawings and using them as reference for, larger drawings, because it makes you feel more like an artist. Not that it doesn't, if you're looking at other people's work and getting inspired that way, but it mainly feels like you're progressing a drawing and developing something on your own. But yeah, so I always draw the basic outline, as you can see with the previous drawings. Try and flesh it all out, and then add the shadow later on. And once I'm happy with certain areas, I just add shadow there. Maybe sort the eyes out a bit more and give them darker shading around the eyes, just to help offset the eyes a bit more. So yeah, long pause. Forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, interesting. Oh yeah, just drawing the hair and everything, and trying to work on some details that will be there later on. As you can see, I've given him more of a neck and rotten like clothing, just like a rag, just around the the neck, almost like a scarf, but not quite. Darker pencil lines, just where it matters, under the jawbone and cheeks and stuff like that. If I was going to ink this, I'd probably do like a grey wash in the background and then start to ink it with different ink pens. So I zoomed in a bit there, just to add some darker pencil lines, just to show the detail that I want to work out. I possibly will ink this as well, so at some point. But I just wanted to show you the raw pencils because I think it's important to show the underlying sort of details and ways of drawing things, because drawings change when you ink them. There's no getting around that fact. It's well, your drawings evolve anyway. When you're drawing them, they don't always stay the same. I mean, you could draw it this way with pencil and then you could ink it and it could look totally different to how you drew it. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing because you sort of like the quick pencil sketches of your rough drawing, and inking it sometimes takes it away from that, and I don't know, sometimes you're not happy with that as an artist. It's one of them things. It happens. So here I'm just trying to work out some of the details and just seeing how I could lay in the shadows and ink it later on at a later time. But I'm quite liking it. It's developed from that little zombie head that I drew. I've added a bit more to it. It looks something similar like the original drawing, but I like this lighter drawing a bit better because I can see potential in it. I can see it becoming an illustration on its own, particularly if I do the background. I mean, I don't want to really do black backgrounds on all my drawings. I think a nice faded grey in the background, like a watery colour wash or something, will help offset this zombie head. I always add extra shadow just under the teeth, just to make them like deeply rooted, rotted teeth. Always a good idea. Let me know if you like these videos with me talking over. I know it's not the most exciting voice in the world. I'm trying to make these more informative, or me just talking through it, and I don't want to do these videos all the time type thing, but I want to do some regular ones, not like where I overload you with me talking over this. But if it's useful for you, then I'll do these off and on quite regular, maybe like one or two of these real time talking videos a week, hopefully. So just let me know if that's what you want to see. So I've found lately that if you do them sort of not like frown lines, are they? They're like lines on the top of the head. It just adds a different dimension to the forehead of a zombie. It's if you don't do them just central, just between the eyes, then it'll look more like worried lines. But if you do them, it adds extra wrinkles to the face and just gives it it almost looks like the Crypt Keeper. Almost the top of the head with the eyes and it just gives an extra dimension to it. So that's what I always try and do now. Just try and add details that I wouldn't have drawn years ago. So that's improving artwork. It's about taking on different elements that you wouldn't draw before and just adding them, really. So we're coming to a close on this pencil drawing. It's a little bit rough, as I would have liked it. It's a bit, drafty in places. But all the elements are there that I've sketched in. I can just go in and ink this at a later time. But if you'd like to see me ink this, then I will do. I I'd like to do more videos that people, you know, want to see rather than me thinking what you'd like to see, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.